Hello, friends. Good evening and welcome to today's session. Again, my name is Samson Emelike, and today we are going to be looking at a very special topic. We want to visualize target versus achievement data set, and we will be using our data set that we've been using before, talking about the Havron humanitarian support campaign data set, which is here on the screen. And on this data set, we have the approach that is applied for the campaign. We have the countries, we have the months, the campaign budget, but we'll be focusing on the approach, the country, the target, and then what was achieved. So we want to see how we can visualize this to have a distinct visualization of the target and the achievement. Now, at the end of our session, this is what we want to arrive at. Okay, so you see, these are two different visualizations for the same data set. Here we see that the target, which is the green, and then we have the performance, which is this light pink or light gold. It's the same data set that was used to run this other type of chart. Again, we see the number enrolled, it's here, whereas we have the target hovering over. And so what we are looking at is what is going to be moving is the performance, trying to get across, getting in comparison to see what the achievement is like. And you know that for each campaign, there is a separate target and a separate enrollment. So we'll be interacting with these two visualizations using this slicer over here. So if we want to look at what the data is like for the national, we have this. So we can come here and then toggle between these types, the approaches, and then we see the different values changing. So this is where we want to arrive by the time we end the tutorial. Okay, so what's going to happen is I'm going to get to my data set and permit me to hide these ones so that we can have space and do more. So the first thing we are going to do is to insert our pivot table over here. And again, for the purpose of this training, maybe permit me to place this right inside this worksheet. I have always advised to place it on a new workbook. Okay, so let's go ahead and place it on a new workbook. So I come over here. Now, we want to bring our budget, our target. This is our enrollment target. At the same time, the number enrolled. So we have these two values. Now let's get our country to the rows. Let's get it to the row column. And then let's take our approach to the filter area. So our approach here, we have the three different ones. So let's go ahead and enable multiple item selection. So this is our data set ready for visualization. So let's go to insert. I've always recommended that you come here first check if whatever that is recommended fits what you want to do. And for what we want to do, this fits it. Okay, so I can go straight to this point and then okay this. So let's see what we have here. If this matches what we want, we'll go ahead with it. If it doesn't, we will change it. So we want to place our target on a column bar, whereas the achievement will be on column bar and then the target will be on a line. So let's go back and change this series type. So we have our enrollment target. Let's give it this. It's going to be up, and then while the number enrolled will be going up and down. So for this, let's go ahead and select this. So we are good to go with this. So this is the first type of chart that we are going to create. Remember that the type of charts that we are creating in this series, there are special charts. The special charts are the charts that you need to combine different charts or do some manipulations to get what you want. So let's go ahead, and I usually would like to hide all my feed buttons so that I can get space, and also bring my legend to the bottom. These are my own preferences. It may not be for you. And I like to remove my grid lines, and then we are good to go. Sometimes I leave this, my vertical axis. Sometimes I remove it. So now let's go with this. Now we are going to right click here and then format data series. What I want to do now is this line. Remember that this is line with markers. We need to transform them so that we can have a different look from this. So I'm going to my field bouquet. This is my marker. I'm going to select the marker options, select the built-in, and I'm going to select this type of marker. Then I want to increase this to 20. By default is 5, but I want to make it 20. And then let me fill it with, I'm going to solid fill it, but then let's see what I want to choose. Can we go for red, something that is very, very distinct? I mean, very, very sharp. Let's take this one. Then the border, this line here, the built-in object, I don't want to see border, so it's off. Now, let's go to the line itself, this line. We don't want that line to appear, so it's off. So this is the first transformation that we have achieved. All right, so we can go ahead and do several other things that you would ordinarily do on your chart. For instance, let me close here and gain space. For instance, we may decide to put our data labels. Okay, our data labels, they are very, very long in number, but we can shorten that. Now let's start from the axis. I want to format this axis so that we can see the unit that we can use. The unit, this is in millions, so let's use million units. And then this has shortened this, okay? So next I want to do is, let's go and format the data label on the chart. Again, so here we are going to look at the number, go to number again, and let's take one decimal place. So there we go. Again, let's do the same thing here. Let's go to number. Let's go to number again. And let's go with 1. So there we go. And the next thing is, if you want to further work on this, fine. But I think we are good to go. So let's insert a new sheet that we are going to use as our dashboard. Dashboard, let's say 3, because we have several other dashboards that have the same name. So let's distinguish this one. Let's see if we can use this. So let's go back here, pick this, and come over here to drop this. So we have created our first chart, all right? So the other second chart that we need to create, let me unhide and see how that looks like. I think this is the dashboard. Okay, so we are going to use this. Good. So now let's go back to our data set. Let me just rename this pivot table 3. All right, so I want to duplicate this one. So sometime back, one of us wanted to duplicate this, and if you make an error without selecting this filter field here, this will not it will not become a pivot table. Okay, so we need to select the entire content and then we bring it here. So for this now, we can go ahead and insert another type of chart. And for this one, we are going to choose this one. Okay, this is my stacked columns. Okay, so again, I remove what I do not want to see, hiding them. Let me get my legend to the bottom so I can recover space. Take away the grid lines. Okay, so let's now transform this. You know, this already as it is a simple visualization. But now let's go and do some manipulation. Now, I want to put my enrolled to the secondary axis. I'm done. So the next thing I want to do is format my data series. And then let's work on this and this. Let's pick our enrollment and see how this goes. Enrollment. Okay, this is a target, enrollment target, yes. I think this, let's go further. Okay, so what I have just done is I have tried to insert the enrollment, that's the achievement inside the target, so that if as it is changing, you will see it coming through as a holo. So, but the gaps between them, let's see if we can make it a little, trying to see. Okay. Let me see what we used from the beginning. Okay. I want to see. Okay. So let's go with this one. Let's continue. Okay, so here we are. And let me format this again. Let's see, there's something I want to get. Let's take, okay. Let's get up to this point. Okay, 15% is okay. So here we are. We are done with our second chart type. Again, we can do the same thing that we did here, formatting the axis and then getting a unit to be a million. And then let's get the data labels. So let me, which one am I going to look at? Data label. Option, let's go And let's choose the first one. And then let's go to the numbers. There is my, so let's go there and reduce the number, the decimal point again to 1. And let's pick the other one. Okay. Let's go to number again. Number. And let's get our decimal point to be 1. Okay, we need to do some work around to, okay, let me remove these data labels for 1. Okay, we can go ahead and do some manipulations so that we can get our other label to be in just 1 decimal place. But let's see the kind of color that we would want to apply to make our chart look fine. So if this looks fine, then this one, what can we use inside here? Okay, so whatever that looks appealing to you, you can use. So I'm taking this to dashboard 3. Okay, so here we go. We have this over here. Now, so the next thing I want to do is I want to get a slicer for approach. Apply this. Okay, so let me cut this and take it to dashboard 3. All right, so here we are. And I'm going to work on this slicer to make it 3, since I have 3 different approaches. So that, okay, so this goes down. And I think it will be good for us to take away these pivot chart fields. All right, so we need to be sure that the 2 charts are connected via this. So now let's see this. All right, so this is only controlling this now. So what we need to do is we need to connect this second chart here. So let's go to our Slizer report connection. Unfortunately, I didn't rename this. So let's just put all of them together. They will be controlling the other ones that are not here. At least they are able to control these ones that we have here. I hope this is connected now. So yeah, it is connected. So this is what we have just achieved. We are looking at the individual approaches, and then we are able to see the performances of each country. So these are 2 different special charts that we have created. So let's just get this for want of space, right? So there are other things you will want to do to improve the aesthetics of your data. So let me just remove this data label because it's making this look clumsy. And again, let's see if we can remove this secondary axis. Let's see both of them, both primary, not this one, primary vertical, then secondary vertical. Right, so there we are. So here we have arrived at what we desired to achieve. Okay, there's one more thing. We see the axis here. And okay, we removed this, right? So maybe let's bring it back. Okay, if we bring it back, we may not just necessarily have to bring the other one back. All right, so that is optional. If you want, you bring it and display. If you like, you put your values, your data labels to go along with the chart. All right, so this is what we have for today. And we hope you enjoy the tutorial. We hope to get your comments. We hope to get your questions, which will help us in our next edition. So from us now, it is bye. So until I read from you what your comments are, what your questions are, and then that will inform us on what we will be featuring in our next tutorial. So from us and from me, it's bye. Thank you.